Kyron Horman. A photograph is a frozen moment in time, a single image meant to capture a memory of joy, of pride. For the family of 7-year-old Kyron Horman, this one photograph would become something else entirely. It would become a ghost, a permanent, smiling reminder of the moment just before their world fell apart. This is the last known picture of Kyron, taken by his stepmother, Terri Horman, on the morning of June 4th, 2010. Minutes later, he would vanish from his elementary school in Portland, Oregon, sparking one of the largest and most frustrating missing person investigations in the state's history. For 15 years, the question has haunted his family and investigators. What really happened to Kyron Horman? The day began with excitement. It was the annual science fair at Skyline Elementary, and Kyron was proud of his project, a detailed diorama about red-eyed tree frogs. He was a quiet boy, known for his love of nature and his thick glasses. That morning, his stepmother, Terri, drove him to school. She walked him inside, helped him set up his project, and at around 8:45 a.m., snapped that final fateful picture.
With his stepmom for the science fair, he was wearing this outfit.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Kyron, we're gonna bring you home, buddy. Nothing is more important to your family, your friends, to us. So,
Terri Horman told police that after taking the photo, she watched Kyron walk down the hallway toward his first period classroom. She then left the school to run errands, but Kyron never made it to his class. At 3:45 p.m., when the school bus arrived at his stop without him on it, the family's life turned into a nightmare.
all right, let me know.
Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Jason Gates. I'm a captain with the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office, and I'm the incident commander.
In addition to the teams in the sky and on the ground, we're told about 50 detectives are also working the case.
The focus, the area around the school.
Terri called the school, only to be told Kyron had been marked absent all day. Within an hour, the Multnomah County Sheriff's Department descended on the school, quickly joined by the FBI. The search began immediately. By 9 p.m. that night, search teams were wading through the fields and dense forests surrounding the school, and the area was declared a major crime scene. To the outside world, the Hormans seemed like a typical blended family. Kyron's biological parents, Kyron Horman and Desiree Young, had divorced years earlier, and Kyron had won full custody. He later married Terri Moulton, who brought her own son, James, into the marriage. Together, Kyron and Terri had a young daughter. Kyron lived with them and was, by all accounts, a happy child.
Up any grains of information that they can to help, just to help.
In the days following the disappearance, the family presented a unified front, pleading with the public for any information. But behind the scenes, that unity was fracturing. The investigation and the family's suspicion was beginning to center on one person, the last person to see him alive, his stepmother, Terri Horman.
Always frustrating, when we're not finding anything, especially when we have such high hopes.
Investigators soon declared that Kyron had not simply wandered off and gotten lost. They were now leading a criminal investigation. The search and rescue mission became a search for a body. As the focus intensified on Terri, a series of shocking revelations began to surface. First, it was revealed that Terri had failed 2 separate polygraph tests regarding Kyron's disappearance. Then, a bombshell that would shatter the case wide open. While police were still searching for Kyron, they were simultaneously investigating Terri for a completely different crime, an alleged murder-for-hire plot. A landscaper who had done work for the family went to the police with a terrifying story. He claimed that Terri Horman had offered him $10,000 to kill her husband, Kyron Horman. The landscaper agreed to cooperate with police in a sting operation, but the plan fell through. In the midst of grieving his missing son, Kyron was now faced with the possibility that his wife had tried to have him murdered. He immediately filed for divorce and a restraining order. In court documents, he stated, "I believe she is involved in the disappearance of my son. I also believe she is a threat to my own physical safety." The investigation also uncovered that in the days after Kyron went missing,
I'll give her that. Now's not a good time to be doing stuff like that, but I guess I don't expect anything.
Terri had been sexting with an old high school acquaintance, sending him explicit photos of herself.
The actions I see don't reinforce the fact that they're completely innocent. And whether it's related to Kyron or not, something's being...
A grand jury was convened. Terri's friends and family were called to testify. But despite the mounting suspicion, no charges were ever filed. There was no physical evidence tying her to Kyron's disappearance. The years that followed were a painful limbo for Kyron's family. In 2012, his biological mother, Desiree, filed a $10 million civil lawsuit against Terri, hoping to force her to answer questions under oath. But without a criminal case to support it, the lawsuit was a long shot and was eventually dropped. Terri Horman moved to her parents' home in Roseburg and later to California. She attempted to legally change her name, but a judge denied the request. She has always maintained her innocence, even appearing on national television to tell her side of the story. In 2016, police body cam footage showed her being arrested in California for allegedly driving a stolen vehicle, though those charges were later dropped. The official search for Kyron never stopped. It just went underground. Over the years, police have acted on thousands of tips, digging up properties and searching wells, but have found no trace of the little boy. 15 years later, the case remains an open wound. The sheriff's office has spent nearly $2 million on the investigation and is now in the process of digitizing the entire massive case file to be re-examined by a special cold case unit at the FBI. They hope that a fresh set of eyes on the old evidence might reveal the one clue that was missed. Kyron's father, Kyron, has never given up hope, but his view of what happened that day has sharpened. He has since stated that witnesses did, in fact, see Terri leaving the school with Kyron that day, walking back towards her white truck. He believes the abduction was meticulously planned, that Terri had scouted locations for months, and that she may have had an accomplice. What happened in the moments after that final photograph was taken? Was Kyron led away by the woman he trusted? And if so, where did she take him? These are the questions that haunt a family and a community to this day. A 7-year-old boy, proud of his project on red-eyed tree frogs, walked into his school and simply vanished, leaving behind nothing but a photo, a family shattered by suspicion, and a mystery that endures. When you look at a case like this, it's easy to focus on the monster, on the crime itself. But what I can't stop thinking about are the quiet moments we never see, the unanswered questions and the people left behind to pick up the pieces for the rest of their lives. Every one of these stories is a reminder of how fragile things can be, and how important it is to pay attention to the world around us and the people in it. So my question for you tonight is, what's the one detail from this case that will stick with you the most? Let's discuss it with respect. in the comments below. This is Juju Bean, reminding you that behind every headline is a human story. Look out for each other and question everything. Stay safe out there.